Right now, joining us, we've got Republican Senator John Kennedy, who sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, good morning to you. So there's a lot of back and forth yesterday. What's your headline? What's your takeaway? What did we learn?
I thought Attorney General Garland talked to the American people as if he were talking to Bambi's baby brother. It was kind of insulting. The American people may be poorer under President Biden, but they're not stupid. He didn't talk about the facts, and thanks to the House Republicans and the whistleblowers, here are the facts. Number one, Mr. Hunter Biden, the president's son, sold influence to companies in countries that hate America, made millions of dollars doing it, and at the very least, he sold the appearance that he had influence. Number two, he shared that money with some members of his and President Biden's family. Number three, the president was not telling the truth when he said he didn't know anything about this. Number four, in fact, President Biden, we now know, aggressively enabled it. Number five, apparently the Obama administration knew about at least some of this, but they did not stop it. Number six, the White House and the Justice Department, it appears, had the skids greased through an inappropriate plea bargain, but the whistleblowers came forward, and they have sort of been the stool sample in the White House's and the Department of Justice's punch bowl here. And final point, I think it's clear to the American people that Mr. Hunter Biden is Fredo. He had to have lots of help to pull this off.
So, Senator, is it your view that the Attorney General is providing cover for the president as well as Hunter Biden? Because I think that goes to the frustration of the American people. Do we have an Attorney General of the United States, or do we have a defense attorney for the president and his son?
I don't know what's in the Attorney General's head or his heart, but I can tell what it looks like to most Americans who aren't still living in their parents' basement. That the Attorney General is doing everything he can, and at least members of his department did everything they could to stonewall this investigation. That's, I think, in part why the House decided to open impeachment proceedings. Look, I'm not accusing the president of anything, but the American people are entitled to know if their president is a crook. I'm not saying he is a crook, but they're entitled to know.
Real quick, the term plausible deniability comes up, and Jim Biden to Tony Bobolinsky, why is it that you never bring up Joe Biden? Plausible deniability. That's the phase we're in right now because of Jamie Comer, his investigation, Jim Jordan, and because of those whistleblowers that came forward. We would know nothing if the House didn't flip.
No, that's true. Congressman Comer and Congressman Jordan and all their colleagues, I think I'm proud of them. They've just gotten the facts, and they're going to keep getting the facts despite the stonewalling by the Department of Justice and the White House.
Okay.
Senator, we also want to update you, I'm sure you've heard, but our viewers, about this book, Gender Queer. We saw you on the Senate floor. It went viral, you reading an excerpt from this Explicit book, and let's play that soundbite, and then on the other side of it, I'm going to tell you, well, it's beeped. It's bleeped. It's bleeped.
A part we can show.
Yeah, watch this.
Another much discussed book. I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's called Gender Queer. Quote, I got a new harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my perfectly. You're going to look so hot.
So you were upset because the books found in public schools rightfully so. The author is now saying it's not even meant for kids. This is the quote: "Genderqueer is a comic, but that doesn't mean it's for children. I originally wrote it for my parents, and then
Really?
and then for older teens who were already asking these questions about themselves. I don't recommend this book for kids." So what's your response to that? Why are they in the schools then?
Well, this happened in a hearing. My Democratic colleagues picked most of the witnesses in the hearing. It was clear from the get-go that those witnesses, or at least most of them, were trying to compete in the woke Olympics. They suggested that parents who care about what their kids are reading are racist and misogynistic and ignorant and stupid, and that they want to ban Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn and Catcher in the Rye. And that's just not true. And so I decided to reluctantly, I was the last senator to speak, so it was me or no one else. I decided to put on the record the real issue.
Right.
And here's my point of view. If you're a consenting adult, you have the right to do whatever you want to in the privacy of your bedroom with another consenting adult, but you don't have the right to tell kids about it unless their parents agree.
That's very logical.
Senator, were you a little embarrassed reading it?
Well, of course.
Okay.
I was.
Because we were embarrassed listening.
It was not a pleasant experience. But many parents have tried to read these books out loud in school board meetings, and school boards, some, not all, say you can't read that out loud. It's pornographic. Well, that's the point.
Yeah,
So
it is.
reluctantly,
And you made it.
I put it in the congressional record, and now parents can read it out of the congressional record, and maybe the school boards will understand what they're talking about.
Did you have any
Right.
Democrats that came up to you afterwards and said, "Wow, we've been pushing for this, but we didn't realize how bad this book was for kids"?
No, ma'am. I've not had that experience.
Really?
Right. Promise never to read that book to us again.
Thank you, Senator. Have a great day on Capitol Hill.
Thank you.
You bet.